Welcome back to the North Carolina Motor Speedway, where we're getting ready for a very busy day here on TNN. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Patterson, and welcome to Phoenix, Arizona for this special edition of Race Day. We're here at Phoenix International Raceway for today's Pie-Roll 500. And good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day here in southern Florida. I'm Pat Patterson, and we're overlooking turn number 10 of the race course here in Miami, where the Toyota Grand Prix is just 4 hours from getting underway. Good morning, everybody. I'm Pat Patterson, and we're back where we started this road show over 4 months ago when we were here last for the Fall AC Delco 500. Bill Clinton hadn't even been elected yet. My staff gave me this T-shirt this morning. It says Race Day Road Tour 92, 93, and no, the shirt is not available in a special TV offer. But it has been fun, and we're pleased to be back here at the Rock, where TNN is just an hour away from kicking off its live Winston Cup telecast schedule for this season. Qualifying for the Goodwrench 500 was delayed until yesterday by rain, and Mark Allen has our story.
Dale Earnhardt is always a fan favorite at this track, even if he's not a pole contender at his sponsor's race. Still, the Goodwrench Chevy was quick enough for 7th overall. The man who went right behind him was Mark Martin, who's never been on the pole here, but has been to the winner's circle. The Valvoline Ford boasted a lap of 149.5 miles per hour. Not a track record, but the mark to shoot for. Kyle Petty has made a career of sitting on the pole on this mile oval, but the mellow yellow Pontiac wasn't even close, although 11th isn't bad. Davey Allison has just about the worst starting position in the field. The Haviland driver had electrical problems which did not allow him to get up to speed. He'll start in the last row. Down in Daytona, the Ford contingent grumbled a bit about the Chevys. Well, only 2 Chevys cracked the top 10, and the best of those was Ernie Irvan in his Kodak entry, sitting in second. Ted Musgrave must be feeling good about himself and his chances for a good finish. His Jasper Engines Ford hustled to a top 5 effort and was one of 7 Fords that made it into the top 10. This is Mark Allen reporting for Race Day.
And Mark Martin did hang on to take his first pole at the Rock, as that team seems to be off to a quick start in 1993. Next to him is Ernie Irvan, who must feel mighty lonely with all those Fords hanging around his orange Lumina. On the second row are Bill Elliott, who is the defending race champion, but is surely happy to put a dismal Daytona behind him. Rick Mass' switch to Ford seems to be paying off. So far, the Skoll driver has gotten himself on the outside of the front row, row number 2. On row number 3, it's Ted Musgrave, who feels confident that he can have a good run today, and Brett Bodine, who is continuing the kind of consistent qualifying that he posted last year. 7th is the man in black, Dale Earnhardt, in the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet, and to his outside will be the Burger Man, Hut Strickland, in the McDonald's Junior Johnson Ford. And there's a bit of Winston Cup news from the garage to pass along. Friday afternoon in the garage, Cale Yarborough Racing, which had been on the verge of shutting its doors, announced that Bojangles Chicken has come on board for the next 3 years. The fast food company had been on the team's Ford down in Daytona with Derek Cope behind the wheel, and Cope will continue as the driver.
When you have these chances in life, you have to take them. And again, being associated with such a gentleman and a sportsman as Cale Yarborough, and again, Derek Cope's a wonderful young driver, we think it's going to pay huge dividends for us in the future.
And Jimmy Hensley continues his relief duties for Jimmy Means, who was hurt in Daytona. The team's Ford is minus the Napa sponsorship it carried a few weeks ago. And joining us now is a man who won the race here in '87 on his way to his 3rd Winston Cup championship. Dale Earnhardt always gets one of the biggest cheers here at the Rock and hopes to make it to victory lane this afternoon. You are good here. Why? This track just suits you, or you suit it, or something, but it always works good for you.
Well, it's an aggressive racetrack, Pat, but you know, my luck's not been that great here for the last several races. I run good here in the Busch National. You know, ran 3rd yesterday, so we're looking for a good race here. Andy Petrie and we came down and tested with him and got our car sort of dialed in a little better. Run a lot softer setup this race than I usually do, so I'm looking for a better consistency lap here and a longer run, faster, longer run. So I think we'll be better.
But the chassis is everything. I mean, getting into one, getting off of two. I mean, every place on this racetrack, if you're just a little bit off, you can fight the car all day.
Well, that's true. The radial tires made a big difference here, and the asphalt is really worn out. It's real porous. It's a fast racetrack. It wears tires, so you really got to get a good combination to be consistent and run a long time. So it's really tight coming off too. Like I said, you'll start getting loose over there. If you start pushing a little in the middle of the corners, that makes you even worse off. So it's just a racetrack you got to drive for 500 miles. It's really tough on you.
Well, boy, down in Daytona, Black was back. I mean, they were just talking about you and how well that car performed all week, and right down to the last lap of the Daytona 500. The turnaround, Dale, is there something happened or some magic that's come since last year that's really got you guys back in the hunt again?
Well, I think the hard work. I think getting beat for one really puts pressure on you. You put pressure on yourself, but really the hard work we did over the winter, the testing, the hard work we're doing now, the testing we're doing now to get ready for the races in the future here. We're just really putting a big effort out, and I feel good. I feel better about this season than I felt a long time. I think we'll be in a good position to run for the championship.
We just heard a few moments ago the Fords were crying a little bit about how the GM cars were so strong at Daytona. Is it really unmatched, or is it pretty equal?
I think it's as equal as they're going to get it. You know, there's a little difference here and there in the cars, but the bodies fit the templates that fit stock automobiles, and that's the difference is the same. So there's not a big difference there. The engines are a little difference in the heads, and they've got the horsepower advantage on tracks like this. So it's pretty equal. You go here and go there. You can't make every race car equal at different racetracks.
30 seconds or so, you got that Busch car running awfully good. You're leading the points right now. You just try to run that whole series, right?
Well, that'd be neat, but we're not going to run Richmond. So, we're looking forward to a good day here, and, our racing's good, been good here at Rockingham. Our sponsors the race, so we want to try to win it for them.
I know you want to get there today. Thanks for stopping by this morning. Good luck to you. Yesterday's Grand National highlights are next, but first, here's the rest of today's Goodwrench 500 grid. Stay with us.
Brought to you in part by Pennzoil, America's #1 selling motor oil for performance, protection, and quality. And by Mopar Parts and the Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge Truck, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them.
Do you know what Jiffy Lube's pledge of satisfaction guarantees? It guarantees Jiffy Lube's service will be thorough, careful, and professional. That you must be satisfied or you get your money back, and it guarantees the quality of their products. That's why they offer the performance, protection, and quality of Pennzoil motor oil. So go where your satisfaction's guaranteed. Go to #1. Go to Jiffy Lube.
Drive in every 3,000 miles.
Come on. Oh. Come on. Mopar, the parts made for Chrysler Corporation vehicles.
She's an 83 with over 140,000 on-road and off-road miles. I must be in and out of it 150 times a day. It's a wonder the doors don't fall off. Only trouble was when the pig charged, it caved in my door. I only used AC Delco. Cheaper parts can cost you a powerful lot. Of course, so can pigs.
AC Delco parts. It's like buying time.
Nice to have you over here in the States.
The incredible thing is the different concept on ovals. It's unbelievable.
Some people just can't get it right.
4 champions sharing a winning formula. Haviland Formula 3.
You boys ever seen flat-out corners?
Sounds rather appealing.
Well, it is if you win.
Complete professionals who rely on the same complete protection you can buy right off the shelf.
I'm wide open all the time.
The only way to do it.
Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Why do you go anti-clockwise?
You're in a foreign country, boy.
Yesterday's Grand National Tilt here at the North Carolina Motor Speedway was the usual affair between the series regulars and the Cup visitors. Here's the action.
Rain on Friday canceled qualifying, setting the field by virtue of the 1992 final point standings. Defending series champ Joe Nemechek and the red Dentine-sponsored machine was the early dominator. But back in the pack, drivers like the Dominator, Dale Earnhardt, and Robert Presley were on the move. The coach, number 81, Jerry Glanville, was one of the first cars out with a sour engine. Presley became the second leader of the afternoon when he passed Nemechek on lap 29. The first wreck-related caution came out when Barry Bostic lost control, throwing up a roadblock for Terry Labonte and Tracy Leslie. All the drivers were okay. Back under green, and it was still the black 59 of Presley showing the field his rear bumper until the Winn-Dixie Ford of Mark Martin proved to be the car to beat as he took the top spot away. Just past halfway, Todd Bodine in the Fiddle Faddle Snacks entry went hard into the outside retaining wall. The Chemung, New York native was shaken, but otherwise all right. On the restart, rookie Tim Fedewa lost control, slowing the field another time. This ended his day on lap 109. For the rest of the event, Martin was the leader, while the battles through the field kept the chilly fans warm, like this one between David Green in 44 and Harry Gant. When the checkers fell, Martin was the victor in his entry. Second went to Presley. Third was Dale Earnhardt. Steve Grissom had a great run in his Channel Lock Chevy, coming home fourth. And fifth was David Green.
So with a first and a third, Earnhardt has the early points lead, but of course that won't last much longer. David Green is sitting second with Steve Grissom third and a tie for fourth between Joe Nemechek and Tom Peck. Now Mark Allen was in victory lane to talk with the man who prevailed after 197 laps of action.
Well, Pat, usually the Grand National races here at Rockingham are bumper-to-bumper affairs, but Mark Martin, you made this one a real boring show. Just how good was this car? It seemed absolutely invincible.
Well, it was pretty awesome. I tell you, I'm real proud of the guys that put this Winn-Dixie car together. It was just super. But I'm going to tell you something. Robert Presley and those guys raced their heart out, and they really pushed me hard for a long time there after that pit stop, and I was really impressed with them. But this car will run forever on a set of Goodyear radials. I mean, it just never slows down. It just keeps on digging. And the longer we went, the less pressure he was able to keep on me. And there at the end, we were just biding our time for the checkered flag.
Well, Pat, if Mark can do this afternoon in the Goodwrench 500, we're in for a long, boring afternoon.
Can't wait to find out. All right, thanks, Mark. One of the casualties of all that rain out in Phoenix in January last month was the Skoal Copper World Classic. However, the 4 classes of USAC and NASCAR racers are set to go today. Here's how they'll line up based on qualifying.
A flowing river is pretty, but not when it's going through your parking lot and across the road at your racetrack. Despite the recent record rains, a good crowd came out to Phoenix International Raceway for qualifying, paced by a one-man time trial demon. In super-modified qualifying, Boise, Idaho's Davey Hamilton turned in a blazing speed of 152.2 miles per hour for the pole by a full mile per hour ahead of second quickest Jeff Helton. Rebel Jackson and Joe Gossick are on the second row. Hamilton did it again in Silver Crown time trials, hustling his MPH Enterprises beast around the desert oval at 133.7 miles per hour.
Last year we were in the semi-main in this car, and this year we're on the pole, so it's a good start for the weekend. And then the super modified, it's right on track on the pole too, so we got the 2 best starting spots, so we'll see what can happen from there.
Tony Stewart joins Hamilton on the front row. Stevie Reeves and Stan Fox are on row 2. Even on foot, Paige Jones was almost too fast to catch as he earned pole honors in the Western States Midget Show in record speed. Jimmy Sills, Dan Drinan, and Johnny Parsons make up the rest of the front 4. And in NASCAR Southwest Tour qualifying, Kirk Rogers nipped Doug George for the pole. Garrett Evans and Scott Hansen are on the second row.
Now, don't go away. After these messages, we'll have some good news and some bad news for the IndyCar series, so stick around.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a synthetic oil, the rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oils. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
Anything you can handle, we can handle. Yokohama High Performance Tires.
Come on. Oh. Come on.
The parts made for Chrysler Corporation vehicles.
Today, live on TNN Motorsports. For the third year in a row, TNN Motorsports kicks off its live Winston Cup season at The Rock. All the big guns will be back, and the racing's going to be hotter and faster than ever before. Don't miss this exciting NASCAR event when TNN Motorsports slips behind the wheel for year number 3. Live from Rockingham, Winston Cup Goodwrench 500. Today, noon Eastern, live, only on TNN Motorsports. Hi there, Norm here, your TNN Outdoors guide. On Fishing with Orlando Wilson, country star Mel McDaniel stops by for some great bass fishing, while Roland Martin mingles with royalty and tackles king mackerel offshore in Florida. And on Bassmasters, flipping is the name of the game if anglers want a piece of the pie at the Oklahoma Invitational. You know, you can always catch the best when you watch TNN Outdoors. Tonight, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
And welcome back and live to Rockingham, everybody, where the driver introductions for today's Goodwrench 500 just moments away. There's some big news from the open wheel world. Let's take a look.
One of the legendary names in Indianapolis 500 history is coming back. In 1911, Ray Haroon won the inaugural 500-miler at the Brickyard in a Marmon Wasp. Wednesday, the Marmon Group revealed plans to sponsor a car in this year's 500, which will be driven by second-year driver Eric Bachelard. The car will be called the Marmon Wasp, even though it's a Lola chassis with Buick power. The number 32 is the same as 82 years ago. But the May Classic will be missing Nissan for sure. The carmaker had abandoned its 4-time championship IMSA program after last season to go IndyCar, but Friday, its racing arm, NPTI, laid off all but enough engine people to run its IMSA GTS and GTU programs. Among the casualties, Don Devendorf, the man who formed the entire operation in the early 80s. Only 17 people are left of the 220 who had jobs at NPTI last summer. Jeff Brabham, who is under contract to Nissan until the end of 1994, told Raceday that he's going to try to find another IndyCar ride as quick as possible. Nissan follows Honda in announcing it will not race in the series next year.
And a little happier note, the NHRA is going strong, and last Sunday's final rounds of the Motorcraft Nationals were a smashing success. Here's Neil Castlebaugh. Well, Neil lost his voice there on that one, but you can see Eddie Hill picked up a win. So did Cruz Pedregon. And, of course, this week's Mopar High Performer of the Week is Top Fuel winner Eddie Hill. The Texan just keeps getting better and better. 56-year-old beat a driver half his age en route to his first win since the Gator Nationals. Hill merely added to his record as the oldest winner of a Nationals event. Way to go, Eddie. Now, it's time for this week's Levitt's Furniture Pocono Track Fact Sweepstakes, where you could win $500 in cash and a pair of tickets to one of 2 Winston Cup races at Pocono. The grand prize, of course, an all-expenses-paid trip for 2 to the June 13th Champion Spark Plug 500. Here's this week's question. The driving time from Charlotte to Pocono, boy, I've made that trip before, is 10 hours, 12 hours, or 14 hours. If you get a call right after the show and know the answer, you become one of the finalists. Here's how to play.
To enter, pick up an entry form at a participating Levitt's Furniture store or send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Levitt's Pocono Track Facts in care of Winston Cup Illustrated, P.O. Box 500, Concord, North Carolina, 28026 0500.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a synthetic oil, the rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oils. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
When Darrell Waltrip needs a part, he needs the right part, and he needs it fast.
And when you need parts, see the parts team at Western Auto. We've got top name brands and thousands of parts in stock. Right, guys?
Right, DW.
And we've got the right price, backed by our low price guarantee, right?
Right, DW. And while you're here, pick up Haviland Formula 3 motor oil at a low discount price. Add more life to your car with Haviland Formula 3.
Western Auto, the official auto parts and service store of NASCAR. Right, guys?
Right, DW.
My truck has 99,000 miles on it, and it's like a brand new engine.
America is talking about split fire.
I feel like I have a new engine.
No hesitation. You hit your passing gear, you're gone. Right now.
Split fire won a United States patent. It doesn't look like any other spark plug. It doesn't work like any other spark plug.
I love them.
I have them on my motorcycle, my boat, and my car.
Love them. Love them.
Split fire. At $5.99, America knows it only costs more till you use it.
I can say I've saved at least $3 to $4 a week. I use lower octane now. It seems like it runs like I had the premium in there.
I'm probably getting, I would say about 20 miles more per tank full, and that's a lot for me.
They'll pay for themselves basically in the first 6 months you own them.
Split fire. It only costs more till you use it.
Get guaranteed split fire savings at leading automotive stores from coast to coast.
Brought to you in part by Mopar Parts and the Chrysler Plymouth, Dodge Truck, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them.
And welcome back live, everybody, to Rockingham, where yesterday afternoon, Winston Cup teams had an hour to sort out their cars for today's race. And in our random clocking of times, Brett Bodine, Dale Earnhardt, and Kyle Petty look like they're going to be tough, but there are a whole bunch of drivers in the 40s. So, now we talked with some of the crew chiefs this morning about what they worked on during happy hour.
We're working on the long run. You know, this place is known to go green a lot, and you're going to have a lot of long runs, and a lot of times you might not even have a caution all day long. It's kind of hard to say, but the long run, you got to make the car run real consistent for a long time.
The racetrack is pretty rough on the inside, so you try to take care of your left side tires the best you can. So I'd say you're not working on speed, you're working on driver comfort and to try to keep your pace up for a long period of time.
Really, I guess if anybody was around, I know Leonard Wood looked at my son Todd and said, I've never seen anybody change so many things in such a short length of time. But what we did, we changed some shocks and springs there about 5 minutes before the last practice there, and it worked out pretty well for us.
We was working on shocks and springs where it would not abuse one tire on the car. Our big concern is the left rear on the car, because here on the bottom of the racetrack, it's kind of rough, you know, and the car transfers weight so fast here, you know, that next thing you know, you'll be abusing the left rear. Well, when you abuse it and you spin it with your history, you best be coming getting 4 more. So that's what we was basically working on.
Oh, it is going to be a barn burner today. Now, a little earlier in the show, you saw a big smile on Cale Yarborough's face with the announcement of Bojangles sponsorship for the next 3 years. The 70-time race winner is here live to tell us what it's going to take to get that first elusive win as a car owner. You're still smiling. Look at you. Congratulations on the sponsorship. Have you got the right man behind the wheel, and we're going to get it done?
I think you're right, Pat. You know, it's been 7 years trying to put this team together, and it's finally come together. And having Derek come aboard and a 3-year sponsorship with the Bojangles people, you know, we can't do anything but win. This is a winning team, winning combination.
Well, and there's nobody more used to getting the victory lane than you. I got to believe that the most frustrating thing in your racing career has got to be being a car owner.
I'm going to tell you what, it has been a tough time trying to break into that winner circle as a car owner, but I think we're there. I think we're going to be able to do it. And you know, being a car owner, I never was nervous as a driver. But here before this race is fixing to start, I'm just as nervous as a cat right now. This car owner business is nerve-wracking.
Well, you know, you got a good starting spot. You're up there in the top 10 with Cope. What did you see about Derek Cope that you liked?
Well, Derek is young and he's aggressive and he wants to win as bad as anybody I've seen in this sport in a long time. And I think he's got a great future ahead of him. And I think Cale Yarborough Motorsports with Bojangles got a great future ahead of him. And with Derek at the wheel, I don't see how we can lose.
It's a tough old racetrack out here. You've made a many a lap and won a many a race here. You're right, though. If your car's not right here, it's going to be a long day.
Oh, it's a long day. It's a long day when it is right. But when it's not right, it is a terrible long day. But I feel like that we got everything working good. We didn't get very much practice. We didn't come down and test because we didn't know what was going to happen. But we got a good crew with Bob Johnson heading it up. If it's not right, we'll make it right before the day's over.
Good luck to you. Save me a couple pieces of chicken in the truck for lunch, okay? Cale Yarborough. That's it for now, but a special Winston Cup preview is next on TNN, followed by live flag-to-flag coverage of today's Goodwrench 500. We'll see you back at 8:30 for an all-new edition of Race Day. I'm Pat Patterson. Enjoy your racing day here on TNN. See you later.
Communications provided by Racing Electronics, the official communications of Race Day. For a free catalog, call 1-800-272-7111. Equipment transportation provided by Isuzu Trucks, the #1 selling low-cab forward truck in America. You'll get more payload, better maneuverability, and lower cost with an Isuzu truck. And by Featherlight Trailers, the official trailer of NASCAR and major sponsor of the NHRA. Remember to call Featherlight for all your trailer needs at 1-800-800-1230.
Dwight Yoakam, Dennis Hopper, Nashville Now, Monday. You're enjoying TNN, the heart of country, and your #1 source for country music, entertainment, and information. If you'd like to know more about our programs or guest lineups, call TNN Viewer Services 615-883-7000. For tickets, call Opryland Customer Service 615-889-6611.
It's here, the 1993 Bass Pro Shop Spring Sale Catalog with red-hot smokin' deals. It's our largest spring catalog ever, jam-packed with the largest selection of quality name-brand merchandise, hot new products, and old favorites, all at the best prices anywhere. If you're a current Bass Pro Shops customer, your money-saving catalog is already on its way. If not, get your free copy by calling 1-800-BASS-PRO now.
If you want to reel in those big fish, why not learn from the best, the pros on TNN's Outdoors blog? The TNN Outdoors Fishing Contest gives you the chance to win a trip for two to Nashville to compete in a fishing tournament as Roland Martin's partner. Plus, you could win $500 worth of merchandise from Bass Pro Shops catalog. And the grand prize for the winner of the tournament is a fishing rig worth $20,000. To enter, send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to this address. Get your entries to us by April 4th and be sure to put Roland Martin's name on the card. We'll announce the winners April 10th and 11th on all TNN fishing shows.